the economy really has turned a corner. Unemployment, obviously, though, remains a big problem. Is the recession over? Well, Mark Thiessen is here. He was the chief speechwriter for President Bush, and Jason Schechter, former spokesman for President Clinton. Jason, I want to start with you. Larry Summers, the top economic advisor to President Obama, made headlines, as you know, this weekend by saying the recession is over. You know what question that raises. If it's over, why would we need potentially a second stimulus? Why do we need more government money spent?
Well, I think what he's saying is that, economic indicators are trending in the right direction. Job losses last month were at a 23-month low. The GDP grew at almost 3% in the third quarter. And so on a technical basis, where recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline, that would mean that the recession is over. But look, I think he was also very clear that that is not what's being felt on Main Street. It's not what's being felt with small businesses. And so the focus very much has to be on how we get up those Main Street job numbers, how we get up those small business job numbers. And I think that's exactly where the administration is focused right now.
Mark, your thoughts. Christina Romer also was on yesterday. She's the Council of Economic Advisors, so the chairwoman of it, saying exactly what Jason was just pointing out there, that, well, it may be technically, but there are a heck of a lot of people hurting. I guess the first answer you might say from Summers would be, sound like that the president might be tone deaf because there are so many people out of work. And perhaps she had, as Wendell Golder called it, the more political answer. How do these messages work for the White House if they do?
Well, she's clearly in damage control. What Larry Summers said yesterday was the recession is over. That is a politically tone-deaf statement to make when there are 1 in 10 of Americans are out of work right now. But it undermines. So it makes first, it makes the administration look tone-deaf. Second of all, it undermines Obama's case that he's the one who rescued the economy. There was a CBO report the other day that just under $200 billion of the $800 billion stimulus package has actually been spent. How could Obama have rescued the economy and ended the recession if most of the stimulus money hasn't been spent? And then third, it undermines their argument for more government spending. If the recession is over, well, let's give back the $200 billion in TARP funds that haven't been spent. And let's give back the $600 billion in stimulus money that hasn't been spent. And for God's sakes, let's not raise the federal debt limit to $1.8 trillion, which is what they're proposing to do by New Year's Day. This is they're spending like drunken sailors, and this statement undermines their argument.
Jason, that is something you're going to be hearing again and again, and we already have, is why the need for so much money at this point in time, and what's the explanation?
Well, look, first let's be clear on one thing. Most economic forecasters are predicting that job growth will resume in the first quarter of next year. If that's true, and that is an if, but if that is true, that is a very significant development. But let's come down to what the question should be right now, which is the administration doing everything it can to promote job growth and economic expansion? And I think the evidence shows they are. The White House and Congress are working together right now on a jobs creation bill. The Obama administration announced last week that it is expanding TARP to free up credit for small businesses and to ensure that homeowners have access to mortgages. So clearly they're doing what they can, and I think we'll continue to see that's the case.
Mark, we do need for job creation these banks to start lending, et cetera, and to feel comfortable with what's coming down the pike, I guess, from the government. Is the president's meeting today with these bank executives going to go towards that and do any work towards that?
Well, it sounds like the bank bailout is working. In fact, they've got $200 billion left over, and they want to spend it on weatherizing homes. If they have any money around, they want to spend it. This is government spending gone amok. Obama is raising the federal debt by $5 billion a day. That's $100 million in interest we're paying a day as a result of this increased spending. And now they're going to raise the federal debt by an unprecedented amount of money. Government spending is like cotton candy. It's like feeding your kids cotton candy. It gives them a sugar rush for a little while, and then it fades away and they crash. That's what government spending is like to the economy. We need to have tax cuts. We need to create private sector jobs that are lasting, not these government jobs that are going to go away as soon as the government miasma spending is over.
Mark Thiessen, Jason Schechter, we're going to have to leave it there as we wait for the statement from the president. We should be getting about 40 minutes or so from now. Thanks to you both. We also would like to know what you, our viewers, think about this question. Are we still in a recession? Are we out? FoxNews.com is where to go. You can click on it where it says you decide. You can vote in our unscientific poll. That red arrow there is a little bit of a help. It's really easy right on the opening page.